This is the Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
Ross, you told us something yesterday that we're like, oh my God, Ross has turned into a proper vigilante.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. Maybe you guys are rubbing off on me, but when something is...
That happens.
When you see something, you say something, Ross?
Yeah, no complaints. No, all right, so this, whenever I see injustice, I get really riled up. So there's a spot at the gym, so I go to the gym, and I noticed a couple of times this one lady at the same time every week would park in this spot. Now, this isn't a spot. It literally says no parking, right? It says no parking. And there's a fire hydrant.
So it's no parking painted on the ground?
Painted on the ground. It doesn't even look like a spot, and there's a giant fire hydrant.
Yep.
I saw her parking here a couple times, and there are plenty of spaces, so it's like not the need for it. So I started leaving notes. All right.
Ross. Okay, so what do you, like, because you're a very mild-mannered, is that safe to say? You're a very nice person at heart. So did you say, excuse me, I don't mean to bring it up, but did you realise this isn't it? I'm so sorry.
Well, I thought about confronting her, and I was like, you know what? She kind of ducked into the gym, and I was stewing in my car watching
in the same
this.
gym that you're going into?
Yeah, but she goes to the bike class.
Oh, okay,
so I don't
right.
see her
Yeah, okay.
So I was like, I'm going to leave a note. And the note I left, for me, this is as bad as it gets. I wrote, illegal parking, exclamation mark.
Just that was the headline.
But even
not like,
that gets
excuse
you
me,
in.
lady.
Gets you in straight away, doesn't it?
But the exclamation mark I thought about, should I put that in? Yeah, I've got it.
Strong.
The next one was... last warning.
Like you're going to do something about it.
I think I was trying to pretend to be staff. And then last warning. Oh, and the last thing was fire hazard. Because it was next to a fire. I mean, just what if there was a fire?
What if there was a fire and then the fire truck couldn't get to the hydrant, the whole place burns down, and that's on that lady?
And that's the second time I've written a note. The first time I didn't write the warning. This time I did final warning.
What did the first note say?
I think it just said illegal parking, no exclamation mark.
Okay.
Don't do it again.
Yeah.
Don't do it again.
I didn't say
It's like
please.
you're telling off the boys at home, aren't you?
I didn't say please.
You're really straight to the point
This
now.
is-
I like the fact you didn't muck around with other sentences and other bits and pieces, bit of lettuce in that sandwich, you know what I mean?
The post-it itself is tiny. And I was worried that she would come out while I wrote it, so I was looking around. But if she did, then I would have confronted her awkwardly. But
Would you have, though? Because you know where she is. You could wait till she comes out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
But
way too hard, Nat.
I hate confrontation, so just leave it to the post-it. You know?
And the exclamation mark is...
I told her. She hasn't parked there since.
Oh, is that true?
Yeah.
Because you know why? Because it was the last warning. If you're that lady, 13 24 10, we'd love to hear from you.
I can't do a voice-to-voice confrontation.
No, yeah, we can make that happen.
Pretend you're not here. We'll do all the talking.
Kelly, hello.
Okay, so it's not myself, but it was my boss's car.
Yep.
We have 3 reserved car bays for us, but the majority of the time there's only the 2 of us in the office,
Yes.
but sometimes we do require our third bay. So, and people kept continuously parking in our bay all the time, which was annoying us. We would complain to the strata, et cetera.
Yep.
It kept happening, so we started double parking.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we come out to our cars, and there's a note on my boss's car of a picture of a car, and it said, even toddlers have trouble staying within the line.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So now that's up on our pin-up board in the office, and our little personal joke that gives us a little giggle every day.
So, I mean, that's so funny because the audacity of that person to think that they had a right to your parking spot, like...
Yeah.
Constant, every single
How
day.
amazing.
We don't
How
double park,
amazing.
so.
This has been one of the things at Nathan's house,
Yes.
at his apartment block
Yes.
a lot of the time, because he gets 2 car bays and someone's always parked in there.
There's a visitor's bay that people use permanently when it's meant to be for visitors. And it's like, thanks, Kelly. Kim's in Ridgewood. Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Kim.
All right, Kim, have you been writing notes or have you been receiving notes?
Oh, no, I'm the writer.
Great, okay.
So there's a guy on my street who likes to park across the footpath. So I printed off a letter telling him that it was illegal, it was selfish, people can't get around it.
Yes.
I also printed off the council parking rules, informing him that it was illegal. Popped it in the letterbox. So it stopped from him, but the housemate continued to do it. So then I printed off another letter, put it on her windscreen. It stopped for a little while, but then it started again. So then I called the council and reported him to the ranger.
Oh,
And-
you've taken it.
Yeah, and they got a ticket?
I don't know about the ticket, but apparently he was educated on
Right.
safe parking.
Oh, I like that,
yeah.
Kim.
Yeah.
Hey, you gave him every opportunity.
That's true. You didn't call in the
Absolutely.
authorities until they'd, spat in your face several times.
They did.
That's right.
I love how you
But it
printed
made me
off all the
angry.
information. Like, here
There
it
it
is.
is.
You don't even have to go to the website. Here it is.
that's right.
You're a warrior for justice, Kim. Well done.
And thanks.
Let's go to John in Averley. Hello.
Hi there.
Hey, John.
Okay. Did you leave a note or did you receive a note?
I left a note, but it's not a note per se. So my partner, my wife's disabled, right? So she's got an ACROT parking permit.
Yes.
And one of the things that really absolutely ticks me off is when people go and park in there, especially the ones definitely don't have ACROT tickets, so they purely do it out of convenience.
Yes.
So I've got a whole bunch of stuff in my car. One of them being large cable ties. So I've got a nasty habit that when I actually come across this, I will cable tie a shopping cart to their door handle or tire.
That'll teach him a lesson.
Well, the funny thing is I've got tools in my car. I don't have notepad, right? So I've got to sort of put
Yes.
the message out there. And
Yeah.
I mean, I'm like Ross. I'm not a confrontational person.
No.
Even though I'm 6'2" and weigh 110 kgs. I don't like confrontation at all. But I'm probably the most passive aggressive person
Yes.
you meet in your life. There's maybe a hint of sadism with it, but
Yeah.
it's, at the end of the day, like I say, those parkings are there for a reason. Especially with my partner, if you're in that position, like. It's just,
Yes.
it's one of the things that absolutely gets my goat.
Oh,
no,
and
I
it should
agree.
do too.
We're with you, John.
We're with
fighting
you,
the
John.
good fight.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun podcast.
I'm going to give you an example of how a negative situation for one person can be a positive situation
Sure.
for another.
Love it.
Last night, I was watching the news and this story came up. Have a listen.
A former Canning councillor has been found guilty of stealing several electoral signs of his rival candidate. Jesse Jacobs attempted to sabotage Canning Mayor Patrick Hall's campaign. The 43-year-old paid his co-accused to steal the signs in the weeks leading up to the local election last year.
Now, this was exciting for us, not only because, what an interesting crime, sign stealing, but also he was wearing a hat, and on the hat it had a certain company's name. It was a Nova 937 hat.
It was big. It was
So
strong.
I've texted the guy straight away with the photo.
He's never worked for us, just so you know.
he hasn't.
Never worked for
He's
us.
not a supernova.
Obviously, he got it for free somewhere.
But it's just so. I thought, thank God,
Yes.
it wasn't a horrendous crime.
No,
it's
that's
just
true.
a bit of fun sign stealing. And so I deep dived into the story, right? So basically, the mayor at the time was going, "Oh my God, someone's stealing my signs," and it was happening again and again and again. He goes, "Oh, wait, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tag them." So he was like, air tag them. And then he was at home, and then suddenly he saw the sign was moving. He goes, "Oh, that's in a car." So he jumps in his car, the mayor by himself, and then follows the car. And then these two guys jump out when he's confronted them. One takes off, the other one he pins to the ground, yelling at everyone in the street when they're coming out, going, "I'm the mayor! Call the police!"
Citizens arrest. he said,
Citizens
yeah.
arrest!
He's as the mayor, he's got a lot of power.
Yeah, and it was this guy. It was this councillor apparently. So
That's amazing.
And
anyway,
wears our hats.
But it's so funny that you're out stealing signs because I don't think. This was an exact plot line. If anyone watches Schitt's Creek, Moira did the same thing. She went, "Oh my God," she was going against the mayor's wife for local council, and she said that someone's been stealing her signs and sort of, not officially, but accusing Jocelyn, the mayor's wife, of taking them. Long story short, at the end of the episode, you find out she chucked them all in the bin, Moira, to create controversy and to create someone's after her because she's got so much power.
Yes.
We haven't had this much exposure
Natalie.
on the news since that bus with us on the side of it caught fire. Remember that?
Yeah, can I be honest? Because for us, like a lot of the times, like something will happen here at Nova, and it'll make the news, and they will not mention Nova, they will not mention our show,
Nathan,
nothing
sure,
like that.
no,
So the
never.
fact
Don't
that we
get a lot of exposure like
we
this.
got Nova 937 from that, we are so excited as a network.
I think you'd call it a guerrilla marketing campaign.
And
really
I do want to say, if anyone's planning on doing a petty crime,
Yes.
nothing that is too vulgar or horrible,
But a newsworthy petty crime.
and you would like a hat.
We have got many.
But think about this. The amount of people that have been given free merch.
Yes.
You wear free merch, Sam.
Yes.
You wear free
Sean,
merch.
you love a bit
What
of
have you
free
got on now?
merch.
Like that, Sam? Oh, yeah, you've got the Cougar Morrison
Cougar
shirt on.
Morrison
Yeah.
To be honest, you can do anything. You can go to prison, wear that. Cougar Morrison will be proud.
Yeah.
But you don't. When you give out free merch, you don't realise where your company's name is going to be.
You can't control
You
what
can't.
happens
It can go
next.
anywhere
That's
in
right.
the world. And these can be things like a criminal could have been wearing it.
Yep.
These could be things like, you could have met what if you met a person that you're interested in, they're wearing your company shirt? and that would be a sign.
Something heroic could take place, and it's
Yes,
on the
sure.
news,
Yeah,
but you're
that's
wearing a product from your company.
What if you're just in a tiny little out-of-the-way bar in Ireland down a street that no one goes to, and then next minute someone walks in and they've got your bricking company's shirt on, and you're over there for holidays?
We want to know, has your merch turned up somewhere somewhat unexpected?
Where has your merch rocked up?
Nicola, hello.
So we've got a plumbing company that's about 10 years old, and it started from very humble beginnings about, say, maybe 8 years ago. So we just had a little...
Can I just mention, I need a plumber. What's the business called?
It's Fairhead Plumbing and Gas.
Lovely.
Fairhead, beautiful.
Yep, nice.
Thank you for that.
That's okay, honey.
Yeah, so we started very humbly with a bit of a clapped-out high A, and we were ready for an upgrade. And we'd had our name put on the side, professionally put on the side of the van, and I put it on Gumtree, and obviously you get the weird and wonderfuls that come in through Gumtree. I had a guy come and have a look at it about 9:30 at night, and he goes, "Oh, yep, I'll take it." I was like, "Okay, we'll get the sticker removed, no worries." No, well, I'll just take it how it is. I'm like, why is that? He goes, "Oh, it's okay, I want to take it to Africa." I'm like, what?
Oh,
what? Oh, no, it's going to Africa. I'm like, really?
Okay.
They don't have hiaces over there. Okay.
Right, yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is a guy from Gumtree. I said, mate, I'm going to have to take the sticker off before you can take the car. I was just having visions of our little plumbing company driving around Africa. We're going global. We're going global.
Yeah, you are.
A bunch of endangered animals in the back, their heads hanging out.
Did you take the cash, Nicola?
No.
I did insist that he took the name off because I just didn't know where he was going to, go with it.
That's a wise idea.
And what business name was that on the side of the van again?
Fairhead Plumbing and Gas.
Fairhead Plumbing and
There you
Gas,
go,
everybody.
everyone.
Thank you, Nicola.
Thanks, Nicola.
Can't be too careful. Kate's in Claremont. Hello.
Quite a few years ago, my husband works in oil and gas, and he worked for a large oil and gas company.
Yep.
And they provide them with the high-vis gear when they go out on site with the company logo. But they also embroider their full name, first name and surname, on their shirt.
Yeah.
Anyway, he changed company, so I didn't think too much about it and just bundled all his old gear up and put it in the good Sammy's bin.
Yes.
And about a year later, he gets this phone call from the homicide detective at the homicide squad.
Yeah.
To inquire about his whereabouts because they had found his bloodied shirt with his name on it that had been involved in a potential homicide.
So he was wearing your
major
husband's
crime.
shirt while murdering?
Yes.
So the police got him, and he goes, "No, we gave it away to the Good Sammys." Did they believe you right at the start? What happens?
Initially, my husband actually was just dumbfounded. He couldn't explain it. He didn't know what had happened. And then he told, obviously they were able to establish fairly quickly that he wasn't personally involved.
Yes.
And then my husband was relaying the story to me, and I went, He said, what happened to all my old gear? And I said, I put it in the Good Sammys.
It's your fault. I'm just going to put it out there. If you're going to murder somebody, don't do it in high vis. That doesn't seem like a good idea.
But not just that. I'm glad, obviously, you and your partner are in a beautiful, loving place. But if you're a bit rocky situation, Sean, and this happened, you'd be like, no, you'd be like pushing the police know that he wasn't here that night.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
We've got a bit of evidence. Let's take this home. Let's take this home and get it out.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean in podcast form.
Pride Fest is, there's a whole heap of stuff going on for Pride Fest Film Festival, for example. Lots of events bringing the community together until November 27. And what an ambassador for Pride Fest. Look at her. She's magnificent. The one, the only, Cougar Morrison.
Wow.
Hi, everybody.
Show everyone what you're wearing on the radio. Show them. Do a spin for all our listeners.
Talk us through the outfit.
Well, last time I was here, you asked me if I made my own outfits, and I said, no, I'm learning. So today, I'm wearing one that I made.
Oh, you have come a long way.
We've gone for a royal blue velvet.
Royal blue velvet, and this is 3 meters of pleating, and anyone who sews knows how much you just want to murder everything.
Now, was this like a pattern, or did you drape?
I bought something online, like a cheapie, and I took it apart and I did it with a pattern.
So like an unconventional challenge. So this is what drag queens do when they're preparing for RuPaul's Drag Race.
That's right.
Have you put your hand up for that yet?
They haven't asked us to put their hand up.
Are you joking?
What is wrong with
I
them?
put my
good
hand
on
up
you.
for the season that's currently on TV. I got pretty far, like almost to the very end, and they said no because they're dickheads.
But you know what it is, though? No,
I think that's the only logical explanation.
I know a bit about casting realities because I was in Big Brother.
Yes,
and they told me all about it. So what they do is they'll potentially have a season up there, and they'll have a drag queen. They'll go, okay, they go with them, and they build it with personality. So they might have you ready for the next season. They'll just put you on the shelf.
Oh, right.
Because how can this not be on the television, especially when she sews now, which is one thing that Drew will rip you apart for.
It's true.
You
It's
can't
true.
sew, Sean.
What do they, Cougar, what do they get you to do when you actually put yourself forward for it?
So much.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm actually glad they haven't asked us yet this year because last year it fell in Pride Month. So all the Balloo girls were just going, oh, God, we haven't got enough happening. And so we were just besides ourselves. But it's 7 to 10 runway looks that you've got to send them. A Snatch Game character of your choosing, but you've got to answer 2 particular questions they give you. And then it's literally like 20 questions, just as your muggle self, face to camera, answering them. But they give you, dragon self, muggle self, because we're magical creatures. 20 questions to answer in no more than 10 minutes.
Yeah, right.
So you've literally got 30 seconds to like rip your heart open and tell them the most emotional stuff about you. It's hard.
This is full on. Like, and the looks, how much will that cost you to go on? So the looks that you have
7
to go.
to different.
How
10.
much will that cost to do? Thousands. Are we talking over $5
Because even just for your wigs are
easily.
expensive, right?
This wig on my head, this cost me $500 alone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Alone.
Because fashion is everything. Why don't you talk to us about your shoes? Because I looked down and went, Cougs, do you fit in a lady's shoe? Because usually, drag queens look like Krusty the Clown. A lot of them. They do when you get into the foot. But you've got a lady's foot. So what's happening down there?
It's a lot of loveliness, everyone listening. They smell yummy. They smell like rainbows and glitter. So these are a ladies size 9, which I bought from a place, and I accidentally bound my feet.
So talk us through
so
how that
when
happened.
I came out years ago, I not at all dramatically ran away from my family.
Didn't you come out of your mother going, hello?
It was more like, I'm here. But really, they were surprised. So I ran away being like, if you can't accept me, you're going to learn to live without me. They're amazing now. But I got to New York and I was like, I'm freshly gay. I need cowboy boots.
Of course you do.
That's logical, right?
yeah, that's
Doesn't
right.
everyone think
Was it during the Madonna hung up sort of situation?
I have no idea. I was just thinking about me.
Yeah, go.
And so I put some bids on eBay. I won them all. And these boots were beautiful, but 2 sizes too small for me. But I made it work. And now I've bound my feet by accident, so I fit a lady size 9.
What a great victory for you. That's amazing.
But if anyone's got a foot fetish, come see me. I can change your mind with the look of my toes under.
Yes,
Oh my
okay,
God,
okay.
let's post them on my Instagram.
No, you know what? There's actually probably a market for that.
Oh, there would be.
But are you saying it's a bit of a horror show now? Because
Absolutely.
Of what
They say that about ballet dancers that their feet are all monkey. Shawnee, how are your feet and yours after
My feet are
footy?
okay. It's probably more Cougar my shins because I got caught. Just everything got hit. The spikes and stuff got hit there. But I know the ballerinas, their feet are disgusting.
Oh,
Nails.
absolutely.
They've been through some stuff. Those feet.
So tell us, for somebody that has not experienced anything with Pride Week, what's
Pride Fest?
Pride Fest. What can you go do?
Firstly, if you see any drag artist or queer person walking from or running from gig to gig, just give them a hug and a Red Bull.
Please.
It's the most
And
happiest time.
Give way.
Give way, absolutely.
They're in a
give way
hurry.
to the gay. Give way to the gay.
Because I tell you right now, if they're in a hurry, they will cut a bitch.
Absolutely. We'll do it while smiling. It's a particularly niche skill set. It's wonderful to see so many queer artists thriving because even 5 years ago, there wasn't one single full-time drag artist in Balloo. Now there's a whole bunch of us. So it's a really positive thing to see the world changing in our own timeline. But as for what
That's your phone.
my mum's calling me. My mum's calling me, being like, "Darling, are you on the radio?"
my dad, I've been doing this for 20 years. My dad will ring me as I'm talking on the radio. I know he's listening and he's ringing me. It's like, what do you want me to do? Yeah. Anyway.
It'd be like, "Can I drop some mangoes off to your house?"
That's taking.
She is.
For the mangoes, take the
I
call.
can't say no to mangoes, but I will for the moment, Mum. I love you. I'll get back to you. Pride Fest, Film Fest is happening. happening this week. It's tonight, tomorrow, and finishing on Thursday night. I'm one of their hosts, and I'm really happy to be back. This is my 4th year.
So you can do that and then go to the Test cricket on Friday. Same audience?
Yeah, sure. Ball sports. Yeah, good. Love it. Yeah. They have a bar at the cricket, right?
Yeah,
I can do that. Pride Fest Film Fest is a fabulous thing because it enables so many people of different ages to see characters that might look or think like them that we normally don't have access to.
It's the relatability.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I think the drag queens are the best. You're a spokesperson for the entire LGBTQI community. You really are. You guys are the spokespeople for it.
Yes, I call it LGBTQI.
Yes,
which is French for
it's
yogurt.
French. Is it French for yum?
See, I call Sean Petit Miam, which is French for yogurt.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes.
Cougar, following this though, because of the Christmas season coming up, have you just got gigs left, right, and centre?
Yes.
And whilst it is a great time because there's so much happening, but it's a time where you go, oh Jesus, can't wait for this thing to be over.
No, money, Sean, money.
Money.
You know what? Money does speak a lot.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm really looking forward to? This Saturday night is the big parade, of course, the Pride Parade for Pride WA, and I'm one of the performers at the Court Hotel later that night. And with that, once we're done with our shows at midnight, we then get to take all our makeup off and have many drinks and parties with lots of people.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm really...
exciting.
And then I'm going to get some very greasy food to go to bed with.
It's good to have a plan. Cougar, last time we met you came into the studio and read a delightful children's book for us, and you did such a great job of that. Is that something that you're still doing?
Yes.
Yeah, great.
But as I'm sure you're aware, and our listeners as well, we have to make sure we plan it very well so it's safe, not just for the attendants, but for us as the presenters as well. So they do still happen, and if people are interested in going to see a lovely story time, just make sure you're keeping in contact with the people who you know normally do it.
That's great.
That's the best way I can say.
And everyone just remember, this is just a bit of fun.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And if you're not into it, don't go. Yeah. It's fine. You don't have to go. Nobody's forcing you to.
That's right.
So it's something for everybody. And seeing you, the way you read a story is such a delight. Like it was a magical time. You do such a great job of that.
Thank you. Well, I'm very glad I do because I've got 8 nephews and nieces. I am the most fabulous gunkle to them. So I spend so much of my time reading their books with them. And, you know, I think like anyone who's ever had to be that person reading a book, whether you're a parent or an uncle, aunt, whatever, you get to the point where you're like, oh, this one again?
Yes, exactly.
You've got to get very creative.
But not you. But the drag queen says that every time you do it, it's a performance, don't you?
It has to be.
Yeah.
But that's because kids are the most ruthless audience ever. You know, once we've grown up and we've gone through high school or whatever and social situations, we know... Oh, be polite.
Yes.
Don't tell someone, you're boring. Kids won't.
Yeah, no filter.
Kids will be like, I've had kids get up mid-story time and start walking around
we have that with Sean.
me.
Sean does that. Just wanders off in the middle of the conversation.
And at meetings, one of the first meetings we ever had here, so Sean's just joined the team, big board meeting, we're going through all this stuff, very important stuff.
Yes.
Sean literally grabs his stuff, stands up and goes, oh, I'm not paying any attention anymore, and walks out. And we were like, what? So Natalie and I tried, and they said, sit back down.
Cougar, that was a good move.
Was this early on in your...
Very early on,
You're going to establish that level right there.
100%.
Well, we love you and we love everything you do. And you are fabulous in
Pretty
every
much
way.
our official drag queen. So
Right.
Nova.
There we go.
what a title.
That's my next merch. There we are, everybody.
Check out Pride Fest. There's a lot of stuff going on, but Pride Fest Film Festival would be a great way to start. So brilliant. Thank you for coming in.
You're very welcome.
Enjoy.
It's the Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We're inspired by the picture of Knox Jolie Pitt, who is the son of Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, who looks could not look more like his mother. No essence at all of Brad Pitt's DNA.
We're talking about family resemblances and who won the genetic race with the children. Hi, Tia.
Well, we're actually the complete opposite. None of us won the lottery. My husband and I are both black hair, brown eyes. He's pretty dark-skinned as well.
Yeah.
And all of the kids that are born on both families are black curly hair, brown eyes, like carbon copy.
Yes.
Our first daughter, who's sitting in the car with me and desperately wants to say hi.
Hi.
Say hi. Hi.
Hi. Oh, my God, you're a radio star.
She was born with blue eyes, like piercing blue eyes.
Yes.
White skin and like caramel brown hair, and it's dead straight.
What?
So
Where'd that come from?
There's a few throwbacks in the family, but definitely not like direct to us.
How many people suggested you might have cheated?
Probably a few.
Yeah, have we checked the milkman?
Yeah. Tia, did it stay? Has she stayed the same with the lighter skin?
She's actually gotten lighter as she's gotten older.
There you go.
Her eyes are like, they used to be like a navy blue, and now they're like ice blue.
Wow.
And her hair has gotten lighter, and she tans beautifully, but her skin is pretty light.
Sam, talk to us about your family. How many people in your family?
7,000.
Yeah.
We can't stop breeding.
And what's different about your family?
We just looks like you've grabbed 30 people off the street and put them in the room. None of us look.
Just United Colours of Bent on that.
Very, very diverse bunch.
Thanks, Tia. Let's go
Tia.
to Misty in Seville Grove. Hi, Misty.
So our 3 daughters look a splitting image of my husband because he is Indonesian, Asian.
Yes.
So when I take them out places, I get asked if, like, I'm the grandmother.
Yeah, right.
Like, your kids are so cute. Wow, they're your grandmother. And then also to the point where I took my husband, dropped him off for his first day at TAFE about a year ago.
Yeah.
And this lady came out and asked us if we were looking for directions. She's like, oh, you're dropping your son off for TAFE his first day. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I really don't look that old. Yes, I started having kids, like, late. So the first one at 38,
Yeah.
next one at 40, next one at 42.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's a pretty bad blow to your ego when you're getting asked.
Yes.
And
Well,
when they
you
look,
know.
they're Asian. They look nothing like me.
Thanks, Misty. Tanara, hello. What's going on in your genetic profile?
So my wife and I went through sperm donation.
Yes.
And
Is it like in the
we had
movies
a
where you
little
look through a
boy.
book?
No.
Oh, what happens?
We went through a private donor.
Okay, yeah.
And when our son was born in 2023, he looked nothing like me.
Yes.
Nothing like the donor. And even now, he looks nothing like me. He's got strawberry blonde hair, bright blue eyes. I have dark brown hair, dark eyes. He looks like my wife.
And she had no genetic input into...
Correct.
How
Tanara, that's
ripped
amazing.
off that you had to go through the pregnancy and she got the accolades of having a baby that she had nothing. It's
kind of cute, though.
It's fantastic for her.
Yeah, look, it's adorable.
Yeah.
Hey, Tanara, when you're looking for a private donor, do you get... How do
Did you
pick
hit
one?
up a friend? Is that what happened?
Kind of. So we went through Sperm Donation Australia, which
Yeah.
is a Facebook group.
Yeah. And then so you basically get in contact with somebody or what?
Yeah, we put a post up and the donor reached out, so we met up with him and we had a couple of catch-ups before our donation and, first donation, and we got pregnant straight away.
So
And,
this is interesting to talk about right now because, of course, we see Sam Kerr. She's now expecting a child.
Yep.
And for other couples that are listening right now, this is probably a really interesting thing to talk about. So what's the agreement that you have with him? Is it a legal document? What happens?
so we don't necessarily have any legal documents because they don't really stand up in court if anything was to happen. But our donor, we have an updates agreement. We do occasionally meet up with him.
Yeah.
And, he's said that future siblings down the track, which we're actually pregnant with number 2 with him now.
Oh, congratulations.
He's, thank you. He's open to siblings, any medical things that come up. He's there to help if we need it. No financial responsibility whatsoever.
Yeah. And does he have to disclose how many people he has done this with as well?
Ideally, yes, he does. He is very, very thorough, which is amazing. Unfortunately, there's things on like Netflix lately about sperm donation and stuff like that. But our donor is amazing. He's so thorough with everything and so careful with everything too.
Well, that's why it's important to talk about this sort of stuff, because with that Netflix stuff that's going on, people see that and that alone and they get frightened and they don't hear the hopeful story. So congratulations on baby number 2.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's hope it looks like you, Tanara.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
Well, as we know, the West Test is live and free on Channel 7 and 7 Plus. But the number one guy in town, of course, is the great Justin Langer.
Oh, wait, I've heard of him. He works at Aldi, doesn't he?
JL. Hello.
Well, how are you going, guys? I do a few things throughout the year now, and my favourite job is commentating for 7 at the Test matches. I'm with my best mates. I talk about cricket and I get paid for it. I mean, it's the best gig in the world. It's almost a better gig than you guys have got.
Well,
Almost.
yeah, I love the fact when you're sitting next to Ricky Ponting in particular, and some of the other guys as well,
Yes.
by the way, but you're sharing stories and enjoy. You actually
Matty
can
Hayes.
see the
But-
enjoyment you have.
Do you? Because Sean just told me a story off air then that people will never hear. And the amount of stories that I've got from Sean about his time at the AFL that are just ready to go, but you can't say them. But yet, I sometimes he accidentally slips into a story on air and then has to stop himself. Do you have to do that as well? Do you have to remember, because you are with friends, not to get too loose and remember that people are listening on these microphones and stuff?
Yeah, regularly, and we do. But that said, we're always told to be as conversational as we possibly can. So, but you do have to be a little careful, especially when I get with Haydos and Punter and Brayshaw. Like, you know, it's like we're sitting in the pub talking cricket to each other. So, but it is so much fun. And you should see Optus today. Optus looks unbelievable.
Thank you.
And the Indians obviously have been quiet. I think they're under pressure. I was actually in Calcutta for 5 days this week.
Yeah.
And you just sense that they are under real pressure. They got beaten by New Zealand at home 3-0, which is literally unheard of.
It is, yeah.
It's like North Melbourne beating Brisbane Lions this year in the grand final. You can't get your head around it. So they're under massive pressure. They've got a new coach. Coley's going to have to lift. It's setting itself up for an awesome day of cricket.
I thought you were going to go with the West Coast Eagles beating Sydney or something like that, JL, just to throw that one.
We've done that. We've done that. Where were you in 2006?
The Dockers beating West Coast, but
JL, take us back to your first ever at-bat for Australia as an opener and who you faced.
I've told this story, and there's no way I've got time to tell this story on air, but the first ball, I was batting with David Boone.
Solid start. Okay.
David Boone. Alan Border was my captain, who I just saw when I got to Optus.
Yep.
And the first ball I faced a guy called Ian Bishop. Now, Ian Bishop is a 6'11" Trinidadian.
Yes.
And for those, Nathan, mate, you would have loved him.
I know. Hey, Sean just showed me why.
Milk coffee colour skin, sparkling brown eyes, crop black hair, built like Adonis.
Yes.
But 6'11". He's running into bolting. I've got Desmond Haynes at silly mid-on, Keith Arthur at silly mid-off, Curtly Ambrose at leg slip, and they're all sledging the bejesus out of me. And Ian Bishop runs in like Usain Bolt, delivers the first ball to me, and hits me in the back of the helmet.
In the back of the helmet. Were you doing the Nathan Morris pirouette?
How did you get in the back of the helmet?
Well, because I turned my head because I didn't see the flipping thing, and then it hits me in the back of the helmet. David Boone walks down, puts his arm around me, and I could still smell the Benson and Hedges and PK on his breath.
Yes.
And he's going, "Oh, mate, Sonny, okay, you better retire hurt." I nearly fell off. The toughest bloke in the world wants me to retire hurt. First ball of my Test career. So let's hope Nathan McSweeney smacks it for 4 and keeps his eye on the ball. But whoever's playing, the adrenaline's going to be pumping, and they know they're going to be alive.
Well, I'm just worried about Nathan, because maybe then Nathan will come out and him will do a full pirouette.
Yeah, that's right.
But that might keep him alive. There'll be a great crowd there. And when the Indian supporters come out, which we've seen throughout the media coverage as well, they provide a great atmosphere. It's going to be awesome.
Well, it'll feel like often, and you'll see it this summer, often it's going to feel like it's an away crowd. There'll be so many Indian supporters here. No one loves cricket more than Indians. There'll be a huge crowd here. It's going to be fun. I've got to say it. Get on this 7 Plus app because you can literally watch it at work. You can watch it all day.
It's a great idea.
It goes with you.
Awesome.
It's like having, like Susanna Carr and Rick Harden in your pocket. It's amazing.
Yeah, that's right. Get Rick Harden in your pocket and, mate, you're laughing.
Who wouldn't want that? Don't you be a stranger, JL. Love your work, mate.
Right, guys.
Peace out.
Have a great day.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean podcast.
Joined in the studio.
Look at him just swanning in.
The Prince of Perth, if you don't mind,
Look at him.
Joel
hello.
Now,
Joel, good to see you, mate.
We do know that there is a title that is the Prince of Perth.
Yes.
And at the moment, we've got 3 people circling it. We have Harley Reid from the Eagles, he's circling.
Yes.
We've got Troy Sivan from Dianella.
I know.
And then
you.
there's you.
Have you heard my Troy Sivan story?
No.
Troy Sivan and I used to. I'm going to use the term friends.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
But Troy and I used to know each other, and I'm so happy
happy for Troy.
Yeah, when you got famous, you knew there was an E on the end of his name.
I absolutely knew how to spell your name, Troy. And then Troy came and saw me do a gig in LA at the Improv, and it was one of the greatest bombs of my life.
Great.
And
it's actually audition that got you the job at Nova.
We'll take you. And I've never heard from him again.
So he washed his hands of you.
Yeah, fair enough.
Because you weren't funny.
Fair enough. He was like, wow.
So how bad was it, Joel?
It was really bad.
Can you give me a bit of it? Give me a bit of it that didn't work.
Oh gosh, it was like it was ages ago as well. And look, it was around the time that Troy was blowing up. So fair enough. He probably had to go to record an album or receive an award.
No.
It was.
He didn't have anything else on.
What was your theme here? What was your theme?
It was in America. All the comedy nights back then. I don't know what they're like now. Like you'd have to be on the gay night.
We can't have gay comedy on a straight night.
That's
ridiculous.
That's like all the women have to be on their ladies' night.
There was because it also sounds like testicles. No, we don't want it.
So it was. I don't know. Maybe I was either not gay enough or too gay, and I think it was probably the latter.
I don't think you were not gay enough.
I'd like to go to the planet where they turn around and look at you as a straight man.
That's terrifying.
Oh no! What a disaster!
I know.
So that was
it. That was the end of your life.
The end of a beautiful friendship.
I know.
And Troy Sivan didn't really know he was in.
I know. Now Troy dominates the planet. Please come back to me, Troy. I love you.
No, you had your chance and you blew it.
We do know that today you're doing something special with our show.
Yes.
Which is Lick It to Pick It.
Oh my God. Yeah, I know. It's nice to play games.
Experience liquor.
Now, straight away, people say to me, and this is what happens to a lot of the gay folk, is that straight away when there's something to do with tongues, people turn around and go, you'll be good at this, eh?
I know.
Not even realising the other ones use their tongues too. What is the weirdest thing that's been in your mouth?
Oh my God.
That is pressed against Josh's tongue.
Okay, here we go. I don't know. Okay. I did a documentary in Colac.
This isn't a Troy Sivan story.
Yeah.
I do. I know what you're talking about.
Yes. You cut me off, Nat, if this goes too far.
No, it doesn't go too far.
They said, would you like to see two cows make love, or a cow and a bull?
Yes.
And the bull was called Kai.
Really?
Kai. Yeah, Kai. I was like, what are you, a personal trainer?
And so was it
from Matt Wally?
And also, what were we getting? Was it missionary? Did one lay on its back?
Yeah, I know, starfish. I wasn't lazy, Helen. And anyway, the Kai got a bit too keen and missed, and
it got in your mouth.
Yeah, like a super soaker in my mouth.
Oh my God!
Like someone throwing a whole cup of milkshake at your face.
Yeah, it was like a silky lasso, and went. And then I went all down me, all down my front.
Look, I've grown up on a farm, a beef farm no less, and this nothing remotely close has happened to me.
Did you scream?
On you, Joel.
Did you scream in frustration and go, come on?
I know. I grabbed the rental car we had. I was filming a documentary with Reece Nicholson, and I left the whole film crew there. I was I
remember that car. It was a Honda Jizz, wasn't it?
Wasn't this the show where you were basically run out of town?
Yeah, out of Colac.
Because one of their balls did the thing on you?
We were there to discover whether Colac is the most homophobic town in Australia.
Turns out.
Spoiler alert, it is.
It is, okay.
Yeah.
Well, when the Bulls are throwing cups of...
Exactly. You have to go out tonight to the blue light disco.
Get out of here!
I know.
Get out of here! Look at your wrist at Ben's.
Yeah, don't get the blue light on me. Oh,
No.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au. Nova.